As he stepped away from the door, Mr. Cake came out of the kitchen carrying Pumpkin Cake on his teeth. Cupcake noticed him coming over and asked, "Is everything all right, honey?" Carrot Cake dropped Pumpkin Cake into one of the carriers, still on his wife's back, saying, "Nothing to worry about, Sugar Plum. Pumpkin Cake was just trying to eat one of the towels in the kitchen." He looked up and noticed Bonbon standing next to Lyra for the first time. "Oh, Bonbon, did she just get here?" he asked. The pale cream pony replied, "Yes, Mr. Cake. Rarity and that woman helped me when a group of changelings had me cornered in an alley. Fluttershy and the others were with her when they watched me over here." She sighed. "See for a year, but I feel so helpless." Cupcake looked at her sympathetically. "I don't enjoy being cooped up in the library because it's the safest place in Ponyfield right now either, dearie. What else can we do?" Lyra looked at her incredulously. "What else can we do? There's plenty of things we could be doing right now, Mrs. Cake. Ponies we know, human-like animals are out there right now, fighting for our homes in town, while we're sitting here doing nothing to help them." Bonbon nervously tapped her shoulder, saying, "Lyra, take it easy." Carrot Cake was about to say something, get the chances to, before Lyra turned to Bonbon and said, "No, Bonbon, I've been worrying about you ever since we got separated into confusion. Ever since I got here, I've been trying hard to keep worst-case scenarios out of my mind, but I'm ready to explode. The changelings already tried to take over Carolot. Do you really want to sit around here and see if they'll do to succeed with Ponyville?" Mare sighed as she pressed the hoof against her forehead, repersisting her glasses. She looked at Lyra and asked, "What are you saying, Lyra?" The aquamarine unicorn looked at the tan mare and replied, "With all due respect, Miss Mayor, if they can fight for our homes, then so can we." "And this is why I like you, Lyra." "Soon." Tails, Amy, Rouge, Twilight, and Celestia were surrounded by changelings on all sides. All the changelings disguising themselves. They had changed strategies. Although they were still trying to use their shape-shifting magic to confuse them, the army had regrouped and decided to overwhelm their enemies in sheer numbers. Most of the others were on the other side of the changelings, trying to fight their way through the army to help the ones who were surrounded. But even Espio's camouflage abilities couldn't help get past them. In the middle, 4 changelings jumped at the group, but the 2 of them were quickly shut down by beams of magic energy for Celestia and Twilight. The other 2 ended up on the business end of Amy's hammer. One sent flying and the other smashed against the ground. On the other side, several more came after Tails, Rouge, and Rarity. Tails grabbed Rarity's forehose and took to the air, the white unicorn sticking out one of her back legs as the fox began to spin around. Rarity's spinning kick sent 2 of them flying, but the last one leapt over the attack and was about to land on Tails when Rouge sent it flying back into the changelings surrounding him with a screw kick. Getting back together after the attacks, Rarity groaned, "This is hopeless! We're completely surrounded, and every changeling we take out will only get replaced by another. What are we going to do?" Tails looked at her and said, "We can't give up, Rarity. There aren't going to be any nicer to us if we do." Rarity cried, "But how are we going to get past this many changelings?" Tails said, "We'll think of something. There's gotta be a light at the end of the tunnel." Rouge smirked down. "If there's no light, it's not a tunnel, kid. It's a hole. And this one's full of nasty changeling beasties." Celestia noticed the changelings at the front were beginning to tense up. "Look out! They're up to something. Twilight, be ready to cast a force spell of Dean Varisis," she said. Twilight nodded, readying her magic, while everyone else took in a defensive position. The changelings began to charge down. Suddenly, the ground underneath them turned watery. A pair of wiry arms suddenly raising out of the middle of the ground. One arm wrapped around Tails and Amy and Rouge's waist, while the other grabbed Rarity, Twilight, and Celestia. Before any of them could react, the arms pulled them towards the ground, all of them sinking to the ground as it returned to normal. All the charging changelings collided with each other, leaving them all on the ground with very sore heads. The rest of the changelings looked around fanatically. Where did their prisoners go? Oh. This is a surprise. Was not expecting you. Celestia, Twilight, Rarity, Tails, Amy, Rouge suddenly found themselves in front of Town Hall, far away from the open area where they'd been surrounded by the changelings. As they laid on the ground, shocked at the sudden change of scenery, they heard Sonic say, "Sorry to leave you guys hanging, but it looks like we made it just in time." Okay, so this is probably the second coolest Big Damn Heroes moment Sonic's ever had. Second, what was the first? It's kind of hard to top facing down a god and kicking him in the face during Smash Brothers. They looked up to see Sonic standing in front of them, holding the warp ring in left hand. On his right side was Knuckles, the Echidna holding a large green emerald. On the other side of the emerald was the Echidna girl with peach orange fur and a creature made of water with green eyes. On Sonic's left side was a large red and black robot with a yellow head and the Omega symbol on his shoulders. And a large violet cat wearing a belt and sandals and holding a fishing rod. Okay, I know what order this fix got in, but I'm going to say in my order of appreciation for the characters, Omega! Rude smiled, standing straight up and looking at him. Chaos! It's a call! Tails exclaimed, looked over at Sonic and said, that's what you wanted the warp ring for. Big, Amy said happily, standing up and running over to the cat. What? I like big and all, but you have Omega Chaos! I think the awesomeness kind of surpasses big here. Sonic nodded. Yep, since the Queen called in reinforcements, I figured we might as well answer the kind. Tails, Twilight, Celestia stood up. Twilight looking over the new arrivals excitedly. Wow, a robot that's on our side, she murmured. So he looked over Chaos at the call, muttering, that's the call. And Chaos without any of the Chaos Emeralds. Celestia looked down at the water creature, asking, it was you who helped us, and your name is Chaos? The water creature nodded, and Tikal said, please do not be afraid of Chaos. Sonic and Knuckles explained what was happening to us, to all of us, and we came to help. Omega assumed a fighting position at that. Big nodded slowly. Tails asked, so what's the plan? Knuckles said, we should be able to use the Master Emerald and the Chaos Emerald to expel the Changelings from Ponyville all at once. But it's going to take a little time to get the Master Emerald ready, and the Changelings might try to run away before we're ready. Sonic nodded. So while they're still unaware, we're going to use the Master Emerald's power to expose the Changelings, and make sure they don't try to escape for round 2. Verity sighed. I don't quite see how it's going to remove those wretched Changelings, but if you need help protecting your lords, be it for them, I would be more than happy to help. Knuckles nodded. Alright. He looked at Tikal and said, let's do it, Tikal! The female Echidna nodded, and they both placed their hands on the Master Emerald. Everyone watched as they closed their eyes and seemed to focus, keeping their palms flat on the emerald as they mumbled suddenly. Suddenly, it began to glow brighter and released a green wave that spread in all directions. Twilight asked, what was that? Knuckles grinned. Just a little dose of the Master Emerald's power. It's to strip the Changelings of the disguises and keep them from chasing into anyone. Sonic smiled. Okay, see if you can get the Master Emerald somewhere where it's less open, but it can still spread out far. We'll keep them busy for you. Knuckles' call nodded. Except for Rarity and Celestia, everyone headed out to Pineville. Twilight went with Sonic and Tails, Amy, Big, and Chaos went out to find Cream and Cheese and Fluttershy, and Rouge and Omega went to look for Shadow. Oh, are we getting Team Dark together? Please say yes. As Sonic, Tails, and Twilight hurried through the streets, they came across Mayor Mare, who was carrying a golf club on her back. Miss Mayor, what are you doing here? Twilight asked as three of them came to a stop in front of the Tan Mare. Mayor. Yes, Lesbiga. How does it feel knowing you and the rest of the Ponyvillians have probably had a bigger fighting role in this one story than all of the fics combined, actually? It's quite exhilarating. Mayor replied, I know you're all concerned about our safety, Twilight, you and all of your friends, but we've had it long enough. It's time we fought for Ponyville too. Tails asked, what about... Mayor smiled. Lyra gave us some real food for thought, Tails. And since this is Lyra, she's a bard, so she's given everybody inspiration, and has probably played heroic speech, and is probably playing every song in the book to upgrade their stats. Because, and I can't believe I'm saying this after all these years, but after playing 3.5 for so long, and now seeing Scanlan, I can say this with pride. Bards rock! Sonic pointed behind the Tan Mare. Food, huh? Well, he looks kind of hungry to me. The mayor turned around to see a changeling standing a short ways down the street, getting ready to charge. The mayor stepped forward and said, let me take care of this one for you. She took the golf club off her back and held it at her foot, looking at the changeling as he stood on her hind legs. The changeling soon charged at her. I think easy would be no problem. When it was close enough, the mayor swung the club back and yelled, "4!" As he swung the club, striking the bottom of the changeling's chin, lifting it off its hooves, it somersaulted several times before landing hard on its back, grating its teeth. Sonic, Tails, and Twilight looked on in surprise. Though Sonic seemed to smile. "Whoa! Nice follow-through, Mayor." The mayor turned to bless. "Really? You think so, Sonic?" The blue head Sonic nodded. "Yeah!" Tails said, "You did look good, but you sure about this, Miss Mayor?" The tan mayor nodded. "Yes, Tails. And remember, everybody else is helping too." As the three of them continued on through town, they saw the mayor was correct. Let's see. I want to save things like Undefeatable and Break Through the Flames for later. So, let's see. What Sonic songs could we use? Can't use Amy's theme. No. Might as well use one of the other Threat-Tier themes. Find your flame. Hit it! Cupcake and Bonbon were working together. Cupcake using a frying pan and Bonbon using a rolling pin to beat back the changelings, while Carrot Cake grabbed pastries from a nearby wagon and threw them underneath the changelings' hooves to trip them up. Lyra was going to town on the changelings with a heavy tennis racket, swinging with her hose rather than with her magic. The stallion with an hourglass cutie mark was using a strange device to attack the changelings. Ha! Eventually, they saw Queen Chrysalis, hovering over one of the streets as she watched Gilda and Team Dark fighting off a whole group of changelings. Omega firing lasers while Shadow, Rouge, and Gilda went all out, now that the changelings had been exposed. "Why is this happening? How did they do this?" she screamed. Sonic called, "Confusing, huh?" Chrysalis ripped around and glared at the trio. I know you three had something to do with this. What have you done to us?" she yelled. Twilight smiled. "Sorry, can't tell you that." Sonic said, "Give it up already, Queenie. You've been exposed and the ponies of Ponyville are fighting back. Face it, you overstayed your welcome." And somewhere, Raindrops is kicking ass, along with Carrot Top, Cheerilee. Trixie has yet to show up. "Yes, and Trixie is quite perturbed!" I know, Trix, all these cameos from all these other ponies, and my fave gal hasn't shown up. You really think Trixie's your fave gal? Trixie, you're my boss and one of my best friends. Of course you are. Oh. Queen Chrysalis growled, "We're not defeated yet." So he then looked off and yelled, "Take care of them, now!" At her command, a bunch of changelings suddenly emerged from the shadows of the nearby buildings, surrounded the trio while Queen Chrysalis flew away to another part of Ponyville. Looking around, Tails asked, "These are responding quickly, huh?" Sonic nodded. "They must want to please their queen." He then grinned at Tails and Twilight. "Too bad we're here to ruin their day." Tails and Twilight smiled at him. Twilight then stepped backward while Tails and Sonic took a step towards each other. They both leapt up, Twilight using her magic to hold them up as they joined arms and spun in a circle. The two then curled up as they broke off, and Twilight used her magic to bounce them up and down a few times before redirecting them towards the changelings. Sonic and Tails each struck a changelings at the same time and then rebounded off of them, flying past each other as Twilight helped aim them. Elsewhere, Cream, Cheese, and Fluttershy were surrounded by the changelings. The fact that they had temporarily lost their ability to disguise themselves, not worrying them a bit. These looked like weaklings after all. Who needed to fool them? "Excuse me, but could you all please stop staring at us like that? Miss Fluttershy and Cheese and I can't do anything." Cream murmured. One of the changelings hissed at her. He was punched in the face by Cheese. The child, not fond of anyone who was rude to Cream. Okay. You know what would have made this funnier? This whole bit would have been this. Cream looking up at some of the changelings and going, You stop that bringing you, you meanies, or I'm going to have to punch you. And the changelings laugh, going, "Ha ha ha ha! Oh, look at that. The little bunny wants to hit us. Well, go ahead. Punch us right here on the chin. And then a White Glove punches all of them in the chin. And Shadow just smirks going, "You asked." Or, for another funny gag, the Changeling roars at Cream. And either Omega or Chaos roars back. Seconds later, Firefly squeaked, "Cream, look out!" Cream looked back to see several changelings leaping towards her. She narrowed her eyes and held her right hand. Cheese plopping down on her palm. She swung her arm back and threw Cheese at the changelings. The shell curled up to a ball to bounce from one head to another. Cheese came to rest back at Cream's hands as the changelings began to get closer to her and Fluttershy. Suddenly they heard Amy call, "Bink, get out here!" A second later, a hunk of line shot over their heads of the changelings, a line wrapping around Cream and Fluttershy and then pulling them over the heads of the changelings as they watched. The line pulled the three of them towards Big the Cat, who caught them in her arms. "Good work, Big. Now just leave these to us," Amy said before she and Chaos charged towards the changelings, Amy carrying her hammer with her. While Amy and Chaos began to pound the love out of the changelings, Cream, Cheese, and Fluttershy looked up at Big and Cream saying, The large cat replied, "Sonic told me you might be in trouble. And I don't like it when my friends are in trouble. Isn't that right, Froggy?" Big's little frog friend hopped up on his head and gave a croak in agreement. "Ribbit." First I looked up at Froggy and said, "Oh my, what a pretty frog. You look so nice." Big sat down and replied, "Froggy's my best friend. But he could be your friend too, pretty pony." Froggy let down from Big's head and landed on Fluttershy, giving a croak. You know, I may have my complaints, but this fic gets me. This fic really gets me with certain scenes. Amy and Chaos soon came over. Amy dusting her hands as she said, "You take care of them." King pointed, "Oh, Amy, Chaos, there's more of them." The pink hedgehog and a water creature looked back and saw several changelings flying directly towards them at high speed. Chaos turned and stretched his arms, socking two in the face while the third one got around him as he kept flying. Amy was so sure she could stop it with her hammer, so she pointed at the changeling and said, "Bink, punch it!" The cat replied, "Okay." Once the changeling was close enough, Big punched it right in the face with his left hand, not only stopping it, but sending it flying back as another group of changelings, which sent them flying like a bunch of bowling pins. "Too hard?" Big asked. Amy smiled. "Nope, just high enough." Chrysalis growled as he looked down at the scene below her. With the changeling's ability to mimic others still disabled, the reinforcements and citizens of Ponyville fighting back, as quickly preparing the changelings were fighting a losing battle. Turning away from the battles, he spread her wings and took off, giving a call as he did so. Twilight looked up when she heard the call. "What was the call?" she asked. Tails noticed the changelings began to flying away, and soon saw Chrysalis flying away as well. He pointed, "Look, I think the Queen's ready to retreat for real." Sonic said, "Then it's time." He danced while the Queen was calling. "I'll stop her. Get everybody else to the Master Emerald." Tails and Twilight nodded at each other and ran off in the opposite directions to spread the word. Queen Chrysalis looked back as she flew and noticed Sonic coming after her. Persistent vermin," she growled. She looked at her changelings and said, "Stop the hedgehogs!" The changelings nodded and broke off, turning around flying towards Sonic, surrounded by their green auras. Sonic stepped to the side as the changelings charged him, avoiding them without losing any speed. Soon, however, three flew towards Sonic, the narrow street keeping him from stepping around him. He low chopped over them to avoid their attack. Suddenly, one of the buildings from the side of the street, a shuriken drew out, which ended up cutting across each of the changelings' wings and throwing them off. Espio soon appeared afterwards and slammed into them from the side. "Espio!" Sonic exclaimed. He heard something behind him and turned to see Gilda trying to hold the changelings that had passed him at bay. "Gilda!" he shouted back. The Griffin called back, "Stay on the Queen. We'll handle things." Sonic nodded and continued on after Chrysalis. Chrysalis growled once he noticed that Sonic was still coming flew down a nearby alley, hoping to lose him. Unfortunately, he not only followed her down the alley, but managed to do so without losing a lot of speed. Go away! Leave me alone. She yelled back over his shoulder. Sonic yelled back, No way! You're not getting a second chance at anything. Not while the world is in danger. Sonic sped up and passed underneath the Queen, heading for the end of the alley. Coming to a stop, he leapt up towards the wall at the end, pressing his fists against it, jumping out towards Chrysalis. Before she could fly above him, he curled into a ball and struck her in the chest. Uncurling, he reached up and grabbed her jagged horn as they fell. As soon as Sonic touched the ground, he took off running while dragging Chrysalis behind him. When he reached the end of the alley, he threw Chrysalis into the building across from it, dazing her while he took off, Espio and Gilda following him as he ran. They soon arrived at the statue of Princess Celestia, where Knuckles, Tikal, and everybody else except the Pinefield citizens had already gathered. Rainbow noticed the three of them were called, Sonic! Twilight Tails told us the story! Did you guys stop her? Sonic slid to a stop in front of the Master Emerald and said, The Queen's down for the count now, and her army's in shambles. Now's probably our best chance at this. Tikal replied, We're ready, so long as all of you are ready. Sonic, Shadow, and Tails nodded, each of them pulling out their Chaos Emeralds and looking at Knuckles. The Red Kingdom nodded, and as everyone looked down, placed his hands on the Master Emerald. He then chanted, To serve us all, the seven chaos. Chaos is power. Power is enriched by the heart. The controller is the one that unifies the chaos. As he finished, the Master Emerald began to glow brighter. He said, To those who feed off positive feelings, so do the true power of feelings that hold the Chaos Emeralds have! At his words, the Master Emerald began to glow brightly, and released three beams of light. One at Sonic's Chaos Emerald, one at Shadow's, and one at Tails'. The three of them began to glow the same color as the emeralds as they gathered their positive emotions together. At a moment, the glows faded in the Chaos Emeralds. Now sparkling with new energy floated above the Master Emerald, hovering in a circle. A few seconds later, they suddenly came together and upon contact, released a green, violet, and yellow spear of energy that began to spread through the whole town. Chrysalis had just finished climbing to her host when she saw the spear coming towards her. Her eyes widened. It was all too similar to the spell that Shining Armor Princess Kansas' love had created. As it came closer, she screamed, Not again! No! Then she was caught up in the energy spear. As was every single changeling in Ponyville. It pushed them until it reached the very edge of the town, where it sent every one of them flying in all directions, yet again. Although confused by what just happened, the citizens of Ponyville began to celebrate their victory. With the only song I know how. Hit it! Da 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 da! Bum bum! Da 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 da! Oh, sorry. Back with the group, everyone watched as the Chaos Emeralds floated back down, coming to rest as Sonic, Tails, and Shadow's hand. Their new energy burned off. As Shadow slid his Chaos Emerald to his quills, Amy suddenly caught Sonic screaming, Sonic, can you believe it? We won! Skipping over this Sonic Amy part. She was brought out of her thoughts when Bruce tapped her on the shoulder. Hey, Rarity. Rarity turned her head to look at the bat. Bruce said, You know, you weren't half bad out there. Hurts to say it, but it seems I misjudged you. Rarity looked at her surprised for a moment before saying, Yes, man, you surprised me as well, Rouge. I didn't think you were such a competent fighter. Rouge replied, That's not the only thing I'm competent in. Which reminds me, you might want to make sure your home is locked up nice and tight, or I might decide to let myself in and sneak a few gems out. You have some real beauties after all. As they continued conversing, Sonic walked over to Sal and Gilda. Looking at Gilda, he said, Hey Gilda, you did some nice work back there. I'm impressed. The Griffin smirked down. Yeah? Does that mean you're going to take back all those turkey remarks? Sonic shrugged. Yeah, maybe. Gilda rolled her eyes, so in a good-natured way, and said, Good enough for me. Sal looked between them as he spoke. You two are too hard to talk, but I suppose you did all right. Sonic turned to him and said, That reminds me, Shadow. When she showed up disguised as you, the Changeling Queen challenged me to a fight. She wasn't just playing the part, was she? Shadow replied, I have been wondering if you've been honing your heels, Sonic, especially after the incident with the doctor's amusement park. But it can wait for another day. Sonic and Gilda raised an eye at this, so Sal explained, We were both involved in a large battle. It would prove nothing if we fought anything less than our strongest. Besides, you have a world to save, do you not? Sonic replied, 2 worlds, 1 family. We're helping the ponies' world, too. Shadow shook his head. Ponies. Still can't believe it. Sonic retorted, hey, it's not like they aren't used to acts or anything. They dealt with the changelings and other things before. Shadow asked, is that right? Twilight came over and said, both our worlds have gotten involved in the space-time crisis. But stopping it is not the only reason we're working together. We're doing it because we want to do it. To protect our world as well as yours. Sonic looked back at Shadow and asked, and that's what really is important, isn't it, Shadow? Shadow regarded both of them for a moment. He reached his hand back into his quills. When he brought it out again, he was holding the yellow Chaos Emerald, as well as something underneath it. He looked at the emerald and the other objects for a second, before looking back at Sonic and Twilight and throwing both at them, saying, catch. Sonic caught the Chaos Emerald in his left hand, while Twilight grabbed the other with her magic. She looked down and gasped, this is Fluttershy's element. Sonic looked back at Shadow and asked, where did you find that? Shadow answered, I found it in that crystal mine, before I came across Gilda. I didn't know what it was, but I could sense something about it, so I took it with me. He then asked, it's important to you in some way, isn't it? Twilight replied, it's the element of kindness, or the elements of harmony. I suppose you could say they're like our version of your Chaos Emeralds. Shadow nodded. I see. Rouge looked over and asked, you're just giving those to them. Shadow turned to her and said, I owe Sonic a favor, and there may be changeling stragglers who might try to steal them while we're on patrol. Rouge gave him a confused look. Patrol. Shadow didn't answer her. Instead, he turned to walk away, saying, Team Dark, move out. Oh, what, does that mean Shadow's not going to pop up the rest of this fic? Oh, he'll probably have some cameos. That's it, I'm done. You get back here! Rouge and Megan looked at each other in confusion, before turning to catch up with him. Rainbow Dash flew over next to Sonic and he called, hey, wait! Sonic placed a hand on her shoulder and said, don't worry about them, Rainbow. They'll be fine. Rainbow looked at him in confusion. Fine, but he... Sonic looked back at the leaving team and smiled. It's a Shadow thing. It means he trusts us. Rainbow and Twilight both looked at the black Hedgehog's shrinking form in wonder. Well, you know, when Shadow likes you, he can actually be kind to you. Just don't let the black Hedgehog know this. He's got a rep. As he led his team away from the ones he was putting his face in, Shadow allowed himself a rare pleasure. A small but genuine smile appeared on his face. All hail Shadow!